if I start like getting choked up or something, save me.
All right, this is Troy Taylor with Totem Pole Sports. I'm here with one of my best friends in the world, Coach Bald, Kyle Anderson, and he started this playlist channel on Totem Pole Sports. We're calling it Coach Bald Motivation. As you can see in that picture of Kyle there, that's enough motivation for you right there. That's St. Petersburg, Florida. So, Kyle, how you doing today, man?
Oh, good morning, Total Pole Sports Nation. Everything is good here. Yeah, I want to tell a story. When I was a young kid, often in the summertime, pretty much every summer, we would always look forward to it. My aunt Colleen Smith, she would always come and pick us up out of Park Lee, and at the time, my brother Ben, he's 4 years older, and I got a cousin Jake who's 2 years older than me. So we were all right there, close in that same age. And yeah, every summer, man, she would come and scoop us up. And I'll never forget the first time, she came and picked us up in Park Lee, and she just had this amazing, beautiful white dually, and it had like a blue trimming on it. And man, I tell you what, she pulled up in that neighborhood and people came out of their houses. They didn't know what that thing was. I mean, it looked like a spaceship had landed in Parkley Apartments. The only vehicles you saw like that come up in there were fire trucks and ambulances. So it was pretty neat. But I'll never forget. She would, we would open the door to get in, and there would just be like bags of some were groceries, some were magazines and stuff like that, and it was just stacked up. And we would open the door and the stuff would fall out to the ground, and we would pick it up, and man, we would just jump in that ride. And we'd be ready to work all summer. We would go and we would work with her from sun up to sundown. And I'll never forget when I first met my cousins, my cousin Richie and my cousin Francis. That was my Aunt Colleen's son and daughter. And I remember shaking their hand. And it was the weirdest thing because they were probably around, graduating high school age. And I just remember shaking their hand, and it was like just shaking leather, like, just grabbing a hold of a stiff boot. I mean, both of them had just had their hands were just calloused to the max at such a young age. They didn't look much older than me,
And where did they
but
live?
they lived right on the south side of Richmond, right off the turnpike. And it used to be a Haynes right there that they lived kind of
Whole
across
Street.
from Hall Street. Yes, sir. And yeah, and I remember when we would get to the house, it was kind of the same scenario where you would just walk into the house, and there was a path to the kitchen, and there was a path to each bedroom and to the bathroom, but there was literally boxes and things just kind of stuffed around. And I'd never really known what that was. You kind of climb over stuff every time to go to the bed. And and when you got out, we'd work from sun up to sundown, rough grade and fine grading yards and everything. And it was my first job. And heck, she probably picked us up when I was 6, 7 years old, and I did this till I was a teenager. So it was something we looked forward to every single year. And probably the best thing that she did is she, instead of just giving us knuckleheads, money, what she did is, we love sports, and she would take us at the end of the year to a baseball card show or to a baseball card shop. And it was just the coolest thing, and me being the youngest out of the pack, I just kind of followed suit with what the guys wanted. And I remember, you know, probably mid 80s, 84, 85, we were in one of the shops, and she was like, well, boys, what do y'all want? And man, we were just huge Ricky Henderson fans, man. He was just on a tear, stealing bases and everything. And I remember we went in the store, and she let each one of us pick out a complete set. And we were looking at the 79 complete set or the 1980 complete set. So it was either Ozzie Smith's rookie year in baseball or Ricky Henderson. And we all went Ricky Henderson. And, I'm sure that probably cost, a good $75 back then. And man, I mean, that was a lot of money, but it was something that, it was a reward that you'll never forget. And,
hey, Kyle, we got a message.
Okay.
We got a message from Howard Bronson, our good friend Howie. He said, "What's up, my peeps? You guys are legends." And then he says, "Boy, oh boy, we fellas had some real good times together. I miss you guys." And I remember his mom and his stepdad were so good to us. His mom was, are they from Honduras, El Salvador? And then his stepdad was Greek.
Yeah. I believe mom's from Panama, I believe.
Panama, that's right. He's from Panama. That's right. Sorry about that, Howard.
Yeah, man.
But was it Jimmy? Jimmy taught us about the mafioso.
Oh, yeah, man. And I'll tell you what, too, about Howard. Howard was one of the, when I left there, I left in a bad time. I didn't have a whole lot of friends, a whole lot of anything. But I told Howard, man, I looked him dead in the eye and I said, brother, I'm going, man, and I'm going to live the dream. And I remember him checking things out. Man, it fired me up. And man, he's a guy too that's very inspirational to me, because he just, from Saginaw, Michigan to here, we spend a lot of time in Courthouse Green apartments and everything, and to see what he's doing now and see how amazing and how beautiful his family is. And a funny story, man, we went down and visited him in an apartment complex at one time, and it was just, she was my girlfriend at the time, but me and my wife, we were in Florida, and we were coming down. It was a hot time of year. We were like, Howard, man, can we just go hang out at your pool? That's we like just kind of hang out at the pool and relax and stuff like that. Can we do that? And he was like, man, I've never been to this pool. Yeah, sure, go ahead. And man, we go to the pool. We're having a good time, and there's a lifeguard there at the time, and she had a pretty thick accent, and I remember he's over there just kind of clowning around, being Howard. And I think he was kind of liking her. And next thing you know, man, he's just kind of sitting there, and he's bobbling up, and he's acting like he's drowning. And man, I'll tell you what, lifeguard rolled right over there and was not having it, man. She was like, "You're faking. Get out of the water." Oh man, it was so funny. But long story short, man, he that ended up being his wife. And wow. I don't know if he would have. I'm sure he would have found her at some time. But I felt like we had a little bit of piece of that, and now you see his beautiful family, his amazing daughters, and some people are just born underdogs that just will never quit. You know what I mean? And it's the kind of people you want on your side, just like you've always been there for me and everything. But yeah, man, we're getting.
Yeah, I was just thinking about one thing we always tell our players and our students is some of the best people live in the worst neighborhoods. Some of the worst people live in the best neighborhoods. And it don't matter what you look like or what language you speak or, what religion you are or how much money you got in the bank account. That's true. Some things, some people might not realize. Here's how he comes back. He says, "It's all true. I would never have met her if it wasn't for Kyle and Anna." Wow, man. That's a great story. I never knew that, man. That's why we're doing this, Howie. We're doing this. This is Coach Bald Motivation. It's a motivational, what is it, Thursday?
Yes, sir. Look at that, man. You see that? I don't know if you can see it coming up, but it's right back over here. It's starting to look beautiful over there. I don't want to walk too far because we lose you when we get out of the range and everything. But
You might have to get a Wi-Fi extender,
I
man.
know, man. I'm definitely gonna have to upgrade my system. But yeah, man. Back to my aunt Colleen. She just ingrained that hard work in us at a young age, and I never knew what that was until one day we were popping on different channels, and the Hoarder show was on, and as soon as I saw it, man, I knew exactly what was going on with it, and that was who she was. But it wasn't just that, that I think.
I mean, when you talk about hoarding, you talking about like up to the ceiling type hoarding? You just talking,
Right, man. I'm telling you, like
1 to 10. What's the level? Which could she have been on that show?
I do think so. I do think so. Like literally, there were pathways that you would walk through, but there was stuff kind of mounted up there, and I remember that had a garage, and you had the glass windows you could look in, and it was literally up to the windows. You know what I mean? And that would be eye level for most people, and not only did she hoard that, man, she hoarded us as youngsters and with just love. And, I remember as hard as we worked, man, every morning she would take us and we would have gravy biscuits on that Hardee's off Hall Street, and we always had Gatorades there. But we did, man, we as little guys, we left with little calluses, but man, we left with so much pride because, we had something to show for it. We had baseball cards and stuff like that, and just memories of the summertime. And, I think that's those instincts that I learned at that early age is what, I think has made me dial in, because sometimes you get upset and you think about, tough people in your life. And that was the thing about her too, man. If you saw her, she usually had on some blue work pants and probably her cleanest, dirtiest shirt. You know what I mean? And, I don't think I ever saw her with her fingernails completely clean. You know what I mean? If you saw her, you wouldn't think this woman is freaking the amazing person that she was and what she did for so many people. But, yeah, man. So, my advice on the whole hoarding thing is that you can hoard stuff, but hoard positive stuff, hoard good memories, hoard time, with your family.
Yeah, I mean, but think about your aunt. I mean, she was probably a child of people who went through the Great Depression.
Yeah.
And my grandparents were like that, and they always thought, I can't throw this away because one day I might need it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this is the days before Amazon or before Walmart.
Right.
We can't throw that away. We may need it one day. I guess when you go through a trauma or struggle like that, it's kind of like COVID-19 and being, quarantined. We don't make sure you got enough toilet paper, make sure you got enough milk, make sure you got enough eggs.
Yeah.
Don't throw anything away just in case.
Yeah.
So like you said, hoard things that you love. And, it's not the physical things that you can touch, because none of that we're going to take with us.
Yeah.
But it's the relationships, and it's changing people's lives, and the things that you can't touch that's inside of us, inside of everybody, that's important. So I think that's kind of your message too, about hoarding.
Yeah, man, without a doubt. That's what's important, and making memories like that. But yeah, man, it's so cool with Howard jumping on. It's like a little reunion here.
Yeah, but we're going to do these every morning. Me and Coach Bald Motivation, so y'all can see that St. Petersburg sunrise.
Yeah, man. Let's see here.
That's what living the good life looks like right there.
We done came up, boys.
Look at that. So anything else on your heart that you want to share with Totem Pole Nation?
Yeah.
On your heart about motivation today?
Just check us out later on, man. We got a really special guest, one of my favorite players. I mean, when AD Paulmore, when he was at Lakewood, I mean, the guy was just a freak of nature, man. I mean, just a monster. He was a guy we had him play kind of the role of a Gronkowski. I mean, he was strong as our lineman, fast as the fastest guys we had on the team, and we had some guys that could really run. Uh, but I like to do drills where you test people's will and stuff like that. See how long somebody can hold a 45-pound weight, out in front of them, stuff like that. Just kind of different test. And man, he was one that was always one of the last men standing. He was our tight end. He could block so well, so awesome. But he had great hands as well. But I believe he could have played anywhere, man. We could have had him at DN. He could have played linebacker. I mean, he could have been a running back like Derrick Henry. He had that size and athletic ability. But yeah, he's going to talk about his MMA career and the things he's gone through. And so I'm just so inspired about that. And it's going to be a game changer. He's a big time. Just a big time overall talented individual that has come from the south side of St. Petersburg, Florida, and just flourished. You know what I mean? And I could not be prouder of the guy. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that, and we're going to go on that live tonight as well, I believe.
Yeah, so 80 Palomore played football at Lakewood High School.
Yeah.
Then he went to, what was it, UCF? Where did he go to college?
I think he was at USF. Yeah, he was at
University
USF.
of South Florida.
Yep. We got in contact with you at one time. We was talking about getting him to over to VUU with you and everything. But yeah, he's got an amazing story, and the guy's a rock star. And
he's 4-0, right? In MMA,
he is 4-0 with 4 knockouts. Man, he had a head kick knockout that man, if the coffee don't wake you up, that thing will. Watching it, man, it's that special. Yep.
So when does he fight again?
I believe he's fighting this Saturday, and when we get him on, we're going to find out all the details on how you guys can all watch it live and everything. And yeah, man, he's just a guy that started from the bottom. Now he's here. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very inspirational guy. And he might have took similar paths to me. I had to get out of where I was to figure out who I was, and sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you just don't have the right foundation around you, and you got to go to another spot and focus on yourself. And yeah, I can't wait to unleash this guy on everybody, and I think it's going to be a very, very special moment for us all.
Kyle, you want to shout out our sponsor, Cultivate Wellness?
Yeah, Cultivate Wellness. I mean, health is wealth these days, and it's so important. You got to try different things. We want to get people off of addictive medicines and stuff like that are terrible and that are not good for your health. Check out this product right here. It's a game-changing product, and health is wealth. You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't feel good waking up every single day, you're not really living your best life. And that's what we're here about. We're about trying to help you live your best life, change your life for the best.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Check us out later, y'all.
All right.
Keep playing, man.
Yes, sir.